Good evening, my name is Silverbloom and I'll be your host for tonight. Tonight we'll talk about Dungeons & Dragons build for Gura to finally top the series off. Next video, we'll go back to some history. Maybe. We'll see. And so as per usual, we'll talk about the art that I did for the video, the concept of this build, the class selection, and signature spells that you might use in this adventure. So without further ado, let's dive in deeper. Wait, I made that joke before. Okay, for the art, it's, to be honest, for the overlay, I don't really know what to add in the ocean, so I think simplicity is best. Also because we need to show a lot of text because druids. For Gura's art, I'm not used to this cute anime face thingy. It's not really my style, but hey, I think I did pretty well and I can pat myself on the back. Also, as usual, feel free to use the art. The link's down below. So, the concept of this build is that we double down on the shark concept while touching the Atlantis part here and there. For the race, we'll take variant human because fuck it, we need a feat. For the background, we'll take Fisher from that Saltmarsh module. Because I feel like Outlander or Far Traveler doesn't fit her well enough, at least mechanically. Maybe flavor-wise, yes, it fits her, but the mechanic doesn't support the flavor and the concept of this build. I'll explain why in their own section below, or you can click on the timestamp if you want. For the class, we're finally back to multi-classing. For her main class, she has a Druid of the Moon, because there's a lot of sharks that she can transform into. And we add Swarmkeeper Ranger on top of that. That way, she'll be able to control swarm of fishes or small sharks that can magically fly somehow. Maybe in small water bubbles. Yeah, anything that works. I must say that in underwater combat, Gura will be the physical damage dealer of the party by transforming into a hunter shark or something. Imagine a shark that can cast spells. Yeah, if you need more firepower, just transform her using polymorph into a giant shark or something. On land, she can flavor her beast form with shark twists, like if she transforms into a bear, it's just a giant great white shark with bare paws and legs. That can also control a swarm of flying little sharks that can cast spells. Yeah. You know what? This build is a little bit terrifying. But yeah, Gura will be a one-man hunting party or one shark hunting party. Yeah, she is another human because we need to feed. And because making her a trident is a bit much considering her appearance, she looks human, at least on the outside. Okay, let me show you her feed and then you can judge me later. So again, I'll pick Eldritch Adept because it's basically a second set of feet. We'll pick Gift of the Depths, which will allow her to breathe underwater and gain a swim speed according to her walking speed, and also can cast water breathing if she needs to save a drowning ally or something. Her main stats should be Wisdom and Dex, I guess? It can be anything, actually. You only need Wisdom in this build. Also, it fits her perfectly for the same reason it fits Kiara. Birds and fishes are known for their intelligence. And no, dolphins are mammals. For the background, we'll pick Fisher because the feature fits our concept perfectly. Also yeah, there's no lore in this one either, so don't blame me. It's not my fault. At least in this one we have two functional features instead of one. Right, the first feature is Harvest the Water, which is pretty nice. Your team will not have to worry about food if they're traveling near water. Any water that can support life is a fair game for you. Also, you have advantage for fishing roll, which is a nice bonus. The second feat is also a DM friendly feat, and it suits her concept pretty well. Let me read it for you. Fishing Tale. You can tell a compelling tale, whether tall or true, to impress and entertain others. Once a day, you can tell your story to willing listeners. At DM's discretion, a number of those listeners become friendly towards you. This is not a magical effect, and continued amicability and continued amicability on their part depends on your action. So yeah, you can reflavor this to a tale about Atlantis or her homeland. She can lie and make a grand claim about riding a Leviathan or fight Tulu or something like that. And that's it. Her lore is not that complicated, unlike Watson. In fact, I think we can rely on the class mechanic to expand her lore and abilities. But for now, we got her character aspects covered. To the classes! Druids of the Circle of the Moon are fierce guardian of the wilds. Their order gathers around the full moon to share news and trade warnings. They haunt the deepest part of the wilderness, where they might go for weeks on end before crossing paths with another humanoid creature, let alone another druid. Changeable as the moon, a druid of this circle might prowl as a great cat one night, soar over tree tops as an eagle the next day, and crash through the undergrowth in bare form to drive off trespassing monster. The wild is in the druid's blood. You know what? Who cares about the backstory? Any druid will do as long as she's able to transform into sharks. This one only happens to let you transform into bigger shark. With this class, she's a frontline fighter along with Kiara, and they can support each other with spells too. Man, this party turns out pretty balanced. I surprised myself because I built this based on the flavor and I didn't plan it to work well as a party at all. Now, the first feature will be Druidic. It's just an old and secret language. Reflavor it into Atlantean and we're good. Right, hold on. The next feature will be Wild Shape. Hold on, let me put it a little bit up here because there's a lot of text. Now, you might be overwhelmed by this wall of text behind me, but worry not, for I shall simplify it for you. Since she's at level 10 and she took 7 level of Druid, she can transform into any beast with challenge rating of 2 or lower. And for any intent and purpose, she becomes that beast with her mind intact, so her stats become that beast stats except for intelligence, charisma and wisdom. She also gets another layer of health on top of her usual one, and if the beast takes any damage and its health turns to 0, she turns back into her human form and take any excess damage that the beast took before it transformed back into her humanoid form. She can still use items and cast spells, but of course it's limited by her new beastly body, because sometimes you need hand gesture to cast spells. I know some people overlook that in D&D, I hate it.
With a wave of my finger and a flick of my dick, one zap from me will kill you quick.
Anyway, TLDR, she can transform her body into any animal with CR2 or lower. Next feature is... hold on, where is it? Oh my god, the text is so long. There you go. Next feature is Combat Wild Shape, which allows her to shapeshift as a bonus action rather than as an action. She can also use her spell slot to heal her beast form, but that's not really important, isn't it? Okay, so, I have a good story to tell. Let me tell you the story of ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Mammoth. Okay, here's a step-by-step guide for the ICBM. So, you use your bonus action to transform into a bird. Any bird will do. Fly on top of the enemy and dive down with the rest of your movement. Then, use your action to polymorph yourself into a mammoth, or the heaviest thing you can. Next will be the circle form. It allows you some extra CR for your shape shifting feature. I have trouble with S and S, so yeah, excuse me. Which is nice since we need all the sharks we can get. And the last feature will be Primal Strike, which means your attack in beast form counts as magical attack to bypass resistance and stuff. So yeah, that's a nice bonus. And yeah, we have one complicated features, and the rest are just some side notes or something. It's they're not that important. It's all about the wild shape. Feeling a deep connection to their environment around them, some rangers reach out through their magical connection to the world and bond with swarms of nature spirits. The swarm become a potent force in battle as well as a helpful company for the ranger. Some Swarmkeepers are outcasts or hermits, keeping to themselves and their attendant swarms rather than dealing with the discomfort of others. Other Swarmkeepers enjoys building vibrant communities that work for the mutual benefits of all those they consider part of their swarm. It is said in the book that you can personalize your swarm to fit your lore, so we're going to change it into a swarm of sharks in small water bubbles. Also, we'll be using TCE Ranger since the original Ranger was famous, really famous for being underpowered. Yeah. My only reason to pick Ranger is to give her a swarm of sharks to control. It's too cool to pass, I'm sorry. Anyway, first feature, we got, hold on, let me put it here. There you go. Favored foe, which allows her to put a mark on a target that she hits with her attack. Once marked, that enemy takes an extra 1d4 damage per turn when she hits them with an attack. Any attack, magical or not. This is a nice damage boost for the beast form. It's simple and clean, it's just a damage boost. Next feature will be Depth Explorer, which allows her to... fuck it, I'll just read the description. You are unsurpassed explorer and survivor, both in the wilderness and in dealing with others on your travel. So yeah, that's it. You can pass any turns, you're an expert in wilderness apparently. Also you get Caney feature when you reach level 6, but you're only taking 3 level of Ranger, so you doesn't have that feature yet. And then she also got some fighting style. For this build will take defense, which give her a +1 AC if she's wearing an armor. She can still wear armor in beast form technically, because you can choose whether the armor melt or not, but you know the armor doesn't change to fit your form, so make sure it fits. Then finally, hold on. Finally, we got Gathered Swarm. Here comes the shark. It can deal an extra 1d6 damage, and yeah, that's it. After we hyped them so much, yeah, that's it. Oh, also you have the option to move you or your target when your attack hits, but let's be honest, we're going to use it for the damage 99.99% of the time. Right, as per usual, we'll take one spell from each spell levels, including the cantrips, and pick one that suits her most. Her signature spells, if you wish. Our cantrip of choice, of course, will be Shape Water. It does what it says on the tin. She can shape any 5 feet of water or freeze it. She can change the color too for some reason if you want, you know, golden snow. Yeah, it's simple and it suits her water theme. So yeah, moving on. And we got Find Family... Wait, Druids cannot use Find Familiar spells. The fuck? Hold on, let me check this. Rangers too. Rangers cannot use Find Familiars. The hell? Well, then we shall take Speak with Animals for the first level spell, since in her official bio, she enjoys talking to marine lives, right? And yeah, the spell lets you talk to animals, obviously. Right, for the second level spell, we shall take Summon Beasts. All of the spells are pretty self-explanatory here. Remember when I told you that she's a one-person swarm of sharks? Yeah, now we can add more sharks. And third level spells, we shall take Conjure Animals. Yeah, she can summon more sharks. It allows her to summon multiple creatures like reef sharks, for example. You can ask your DM if they will allow you to reflavor all the beasts you summon here as sharks, just like your wild shape. Our final spells will be Polymorph. Why? Because she can transform herself into a mindless giant shark. Hey, I said last swarm spell, but I never said last shark spell. This is her Super Saiyan mode, basically, her Berserk button. Basically, she can transform herself into bigger thing in exchange of her clarity of mind. The word sharks has lost all meaning.
That was a misstep.
You think so?
All of it.
What do you mean?
This is pretty lowbrow.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, we finally completed the series. We can go back to historical content now. I want to talk about Claudius Variana. I've been wanting to talk about them ever since I started this channel. Also, yeah, to be honest, I don't know much about Gura and I have to do some research for this video. But yeah, she's a fun one to watch. I added her to my watch list. And I'm sorry, I cannot slip bloop in somewhere in there. Game mechanics restriction, you know? Maybe it can be part of the swarm or the beast she summoned. With summoned beasts can be bloop, maybe. And that's it. Thank you for watching and good night.